Welcome to my channel. Story English Plus.
When life feels unfair, remember this.
There once lived a young man named Daniel. From childhood, Daniel had been told by his parents that the world was a fair place, that good deeds were rewarded, and wrong actions would eventually be punished. He carried that belief with him into adulthood, only to discover that reality did not always follow such neat rules.
At school, he studied harder than anyone else, but some of his classmates who cheated ended up with higher grades. Later, when he joined the workforce, he put in extra hours and stayed honest, yet he saw others who played politics, flattered the bosses, or even bent the rules getting promoted faster than him. It felt like life was deliberately mocking his efforts.
One evening, weighed down by bitterness, Daniel went to visit his grandfather, a wise old man who had seen many seasons of life. The old man listened quietly as Daniel poured out his frustrations.
"Grandfather, I try so hard to do what's right. I don't lie, I don't cheat, I don't take shortcuts. Yet somehow, life rewards others who are less sincere. Why is life so unfair?" The old man smiled gently and said, "Daniel, let me tell you a story."
The Farmer and the Two Buckets. There was once a farmer who had two large clay buckets. Every morning, he would carry them on a pole to the river, fill them with water, and bring them back to his home. One bucket was perfect, shiny, smooth, and strong. The other bucket had a crack running down its side. By the time the farmer reached home, the cracked bucket was always half empty.
The perfect bucket mocked the cracked one. "Look at you. You're broken, weak, and useless. The farmer gets full value from me, but from you, he loses half his effort every day." The cracked bucket felt ashamed. It wanted desperately to be like the perfect one but could not change its flaw.
One day, the cracked bucket apologized to the farmer. "Sir, I'm sorry for wasting your effort. You deserve better. Please replace me with a new, stronger bucket." But the farmer smiled and said, "My dear bucket, don't you realize what you've done? Look along the path where I carry you each morning."
The bucket looked and saw a line of beautiful flowers blooming on its side of the path. The farmer explained, "I knew about your crack, so I planted seeds along the way. Every day, you watered them unknowingly. Because of you, my house is filled with flowers that bring joy and beauty. You thought you were a failure, but in truth, you created something precious."
Life's hidden balance. The grandfather paused after finishing the tale. Daniel sat quietly, thinking. "Do you see?" his grandfather asked. "Life doesn't always reward effort in the way we expect. Sometimes, fairness is hidden, delayed, or measured differently than we imagine. You believe you are losing when others get ahead of you, but you don't yet see the flowers blooming from your cracked bucket."
Daniel frowned. "But how do I know if those flowers really exist for me?"
His grandfather chuckled softly. "Because every act of honesty, every moment of perseverance, every time you refuse to betray your values, you are planting seeds. The reward might not come as money, fame, or promotions, but it comes as peace of mind, trust from those who matter, and opportunities that only integrity can bring. Remember, the value of a tree is not in how fast it grows, but in how strong its roots become."
Modern reflections. Daniel thought long about the story. At first, he still felt the sting of unfairness, but slowly he began to notice things differently. His colleagues who cut corners were indeed promoted quickly, but they also lived with stress, suspicion, and shallow respect. When they made mistakes, no one trusted their intentions. Daniel, however, found that people sought him out for advice because they believed in his honesty.
Life had not given him the immediate rewards he wanted, but it had given him something deeper, credibility. And credibility, though invisible at first, turned out to be the foundation of lasting success.
What we can learn. When life feels unfair, it is natural to feel anger, disappointment, or even despair. But the story of the cracked bucket reminds us of a few important truths.
1. Not all rewards are visible immediately. Some benefits grow silently, like flowers along a path.
2. Perfection is not required to make a difference. Our flaws can be the very channels through which we create beauty and meaning.
3. Fairness is not always about equal outcomes. It's about deeper balance, sometimes hidden from our eyes until much later.
4. Integrity compounds over time. A single honest act might not bring applause, but a lifetime of honesty builds trust that cannot be bought.
Another angle, the bamboo story. To strengthen this lesson, consider another story often told in Asian traditions.
A man once planted bamboo. For years, he watered it daily, but nothing grew above the soil. By the 5th year, he was ready to give up. Then suddenly, the bamboo shot up, growing more than 80 feet in just 6 weeks.
What happened during those 5 silent years? The bamboo was building roots underground, creating a foundation strong enough to support its rapid growth.
Life is like that. You may feel stuck, watching others rise quickly while your efforts seem invisible. But perhaps you are still in your root-building years. When the right time comes, your growth will surprise everyone, including yourself.
Final reflection. Life will not always feel fair. Some people will cheat and succeed, while others will struggle despite hard work. But remember, the cracked bucket still watered flowers. The bamboo still grew, just on its own timeline.
Your integrity is planting seeds and roots that you may not yet see. So, the next time life feels unfair, pause and ask yourself, what unseen flowers might I be watering? What deep roots might I be growing right now?
Because in the end, life is less about competing with others, and more about nurturing the unique garden that only you can grow.
Please subscribe and comments. Thanks.